Let's leave room for that.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to call Peoria Public School Board of Education meeting for August the 12th, 2024 to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll for a quorum?
Mrs. Costick? Mrs. Murray?
Here.
Mr. Ivory?
Here.
Mrs. Rose?
Here.
Mrs. Ross? Dr. Wilson?
Here.
President McConnell?
Here.
We have
Thank-
6 present.
Thank you. And if we would all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Thank you. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm so excited to see so many people here tonight. We would like to recognize our board displays. To my right is Valeska Hinton Early Childhood Center, and to my left is Keller. Thank you so much, Keller and Valeska Hinton. Announcements from our board members, and we will start with Mr. Ivory.
I don't have any.
You don't have any announcements?
Wait a minute. I guess I do. That's what happened when you're new. Just as a plant needs water to thrive, students need education to succeed. Do you know that a student with more than 2 absences per month are even 7 times more likely to drop out of high school? Everyone counts. Show up and glow up.
We are hiring. Peoria Public School is hiring. Please go to www.peoriapublic.com/jobs or text 30968 to get more information. We would love for you to join the PPS team.
And if I could do a formal welcome to our student board member, Warda Elmy, and she's from Richwoods High School. Thank you and welcome.
The first school improvement day of the 2024 to 2025 school year will be Wednesday, August 28th. There will be half-day dismissals for all schools, and Valeska Hinton Early Childhood Education will be closed.
Mrs. Reese.
Immunizations and physicals are due by October 15th, 2024 for all pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, 6th, 9th, and 12th grade students. Please visit www.psd150.org/back-to-school for more information.
Thank you. 7 mindsets. We are learning about the mindset. Everything is possible. For the next 4 weeks as a district, there are 4 components of this mindset. This week, we are learning about the dream big. We all can have times where we are overwhelmed with self-doubt. The dream big lesson helps us overcome limiting expectations we may place on ourselves.
Thank you. Dr. Wilson.
The Bloom Board/Peoria Public School Teacher Apprenticeship Program is now open for applications. This incredible opportunity allows paraprofessionals to earn their degree and teacher certification while working on a job. Contact Linda Wilson at linda.wilson@psd150.org. I have one more as well. Here's some feedback about Yonder pouches from a teacher at Richwoods we would like to share. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you to you and anyone involved in the decision about the Yonder pouches. It is early in the game, but I have noticed an immediate and drastic difference in my students, my teaching, and my classroom climate. This is the most effective I have felt as a teacher in my 12 years. The pouches have transformed the teaching landscape. Students are engaged and comprehending far more than I have ever seen. Students are gaining SEL skills. I'm looking in students' eyes who have hardly ever looked up from a screen in the past. I cannot express fully how excited, optimistic, and fulfilled the last day and a half of teaching have left me feeling. Again, that's from an Algebra 1 Statistics and AP Statistics teacher at Richwoods High School.
Wonderful, thank you. Parent University. Mark your calendars for the first Parent University of this school year 2024-25. Join us on Thursday, September 12th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at all three high schools for an exciting back-to-school celebration. You don't want to miss this chance to kick off the year with a fun and informative environment. Thursday, September 12th from 5 to 7 at all three high schools. Thank you so much. Our next item is a awards and recognition. And our first one is 2024 Illinois High School Counselor of the Year, Dr. Makisha Mitchell. And Principal McGinnis is going to do the presentation.
Dr. Coleman said she'll start us off, but
Our apologies. Dr. Coleman is going to share in the presentation.
Good afternoon, board. It is my honor to introduce Dr. Makisha Mitchell, who has been named the Illinois School Counselor of the Year by the Illinois School Counselor Association. Dr. Mitchell's dedication to her students at Peoria High School has had a remarkable impact on the entire school community. She is more than just a counselor. She's a mentor, an advocate, a guiding force, and always ensuring that students receive the support and encouragement they need to succeed. Her commitment to helping students reach their full potential, both academically and personally, makes her an invaluable part at Peoria High School. Dr. Mitchell is instrumental in guiding students through the FAFSA process, sparking their interest in college, scholarships, and preparing them for life beyond high school. Tonight, we celebrate her outstanding achievements and lasting difference she makes in the lives of our students. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Makisha Mitchell. Here, you want me to hold him for a second?
I didn't know I had to talk. I was surprised when I found out about the award, but once it sank in, I had to pat myself on the back because I just do what I love, and I love what I do. And so when you show up to work and you love what you do, it's easy. And I appreciate the recognition. And I'm just always on the go, 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 go. If anyone sees me in the building, I'm always zipping past. So I definitely appreciate being recognized by my colleagues, and it's a wonderful honor. And I will receive the official recognition at our school counselors conference in November. So I'm excited for us as a district and for my school.
If you guys would just pose for a photo for us, please. Thank you.
We're gonna go outside.
Okay, you're gonna go outside for better. Before you go, we appreciate you. I have seen you busy. You really know how to link in with the students, and they trust you. So I thank you for just serving in a genuine way and being there for our students. Thank you. Okay, next item, Sarah Polnitz. She's the principal at Whittier Primary School.
Good evening, President McConnell, Dr. Karat, and members of the board. I get to be short and sweet because I believe the woman in charge of this is our lovely librarian at Whittier Primary, Mrs. Jennifer Brady. And before you come up here, I just want to thank you. Mrs. Brady pours into our kiddos and the staff. She's constantly asking for ways she can support, and it doesn't go unnoticed, such as always getting winners for Whittier for writing. And so without further ado and gratitude, Jennifer Brady. Come on up. I guess our poets should come up too.
Okay, so I found out about this Gwendolyn Brooks Youth Poetry Award Contest in 2020, and every year we study poetry in library time, and we get 10 to 20 kids just on their own writing a poem, turning it in for the contest. This one, we're in the same neighborhood. This one chased me down the street a couple years ago on the last day of the contest with her poem it was like 2 years ago, saying, "Here it is, can you turn it in for me?" And she finally got her win this year, and I'm so excited because we got a winner in 2021. They make a little booklet with all the winning poems, K-12 in Illinois. We got 4 winners in 2023, your sister being one of them. We didn't get a winner in 2023, so I told them, you better win this year. Antonio won, his poem won out of all the poems turned in for 2nd grade, the whole state of Illinois, and Clara's was an honorable mention. So that's
Do we want to read them for everybody? Okay.
you ready?
Who's going first?
Ode to a Library. I walk in and see stories floating up. I choose one with caution and excitement as I unravel the story inside. The feelings poured into me as if it almost was real. A day at the beach. Me and my sister at the beach, lying on our towels, eating popsicles, cherry, lemon, watermelon, and much more. We admire the ocean and go give it a try. We surf and surf until we get cold. We get to shore to get ourselves warm. When we are finally warm, we make sand castles of all types. We get sand in our pants, but it's all right. As we walk home, I think about how much fun I had. It's all over now and time to go home.
We thank you, Mrs. Brady, for motivating kids and for being a super leader, and we will win this year. All right, thank you. And you will take a photo outside. You guys are going to go outside and have a photo. All right, thank you so much. District presentations. Christy Zeller from Children's Home. And Tessa. I'm sorry. May we recognize the families of the students? Will you raise your hand? I'm so sorry. Thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon. I just want to say that was amazing. Can they just do the rest of my presentation for me? But I'm Christy. I'm with the Children's Home. I'm the school-based clinical coordinator. Thank you for having me tonight. I just wanted to run down a little bit of what we do in our schools that we're in. Currently, we are in 4 schools. So we're in Lincoln, Hines, Treewind, Day Treatment, and Glen Oak. Our therapists serve as a direct link to our mobile crisis, formerly known as SAS. So it's a great opportunity that when that happens, hopefully we can stop it from going to hospitalization. Our therapists also provide individual therapy, and we tailor it specifically to the unique needs of each student. We provide family therapy to improve dynamics and support systems. We provide group therapy, including behavior management and social skills development. We provide mental health assessments, and then we're that direct link to referrals in the community. One thing that we're really concentrating on this year is the SEL collaboration. We did a lot of that last year, but we're trying to improve on it this year. And then we provide year-round therapy. So certain kids that we can open up in our Tri-County program is something we can provide family therapy and individual therapy throughout the whole year. And then the next, thank you. And then so this is just a snapshot of the end of year data that we had last year. Sorry, it's probably a little hard to read on the right-hand side, but essentially it kind of gives you all the students that we served. So 376 students were served in the year of last year. 36 of them are open clients, so those are the full year-round clients that we were serving, that we're continuing to serve. The top presenting issues that we had that we saw last year were self-esteem, family and home issue, and then anxiety, which in all previous years, it was much more like disruption in class, fighting, physical fighting. So we saw a shift this year kind of coming into the internal as opposed to the external in the last couple of years. So it's something we're going to be looking to help and treat in the next year, especially going into classrooms and pushing in and going over some coping skills mechanisms for that. We saw a reduction in our mobile crisis screenings at the schools, which is a big thing that we want to push for. With our therapists being in the school, we're able to kind of stop that and maybe avert a crisis screening. So that's really important. It's one thing that our therapists are really concentrating on helping, if there is a crisis, getting there as soon as they can. And then we also saw an increase in the number of SEL groups that were held in the schools. This has been my push to the therapists to help not only our students in SEL groups there, but also helping teachers and staff, having little trainings, pushing into the classrooms and teaching more of that SEL and helping the teachers be able to control those behaviors as well. The next slide, please. Thank you. So for goals for the next year, these are some of the goals that we're going to be having. We want to improve on attendance rates by increasing the number of students that are receiving our services. So that's an every year thing we want to do. By helping the kids while they're there, we're hoping that they continue to want to come back to the class and continue to want to see someone. They know it's a safe place. They know they have a safe place to go to. We also want to strengthen our collaboration with the school staff and other agencies. We would also like to see it continue in the decrease of the mobile screenings that are happening in the schools. Again, that's the main thing I want our therapists to really be concentrating on. If there's a crisis, you're there and you're able to help aid with that. We also want to strengthen our psychoeducation support training to equip staff with the knowledge and skills to effectively manage and enhance that support. And then the big thing this year that we're pushing for is to increase the students served by 15 to 20% in each school that we're in. So the reason I said each school that we're in is because the overall data from last year, I'm not going to really look at the overall because we're not in the same amount of schools, but I'm going to concentrate on each school that we're increasing that students served by 15 to 20%. And I just talked a lot and really quickly, I apologize. Thank you for having me.
And we value your services and the partnership. So thank you. FamilyCore, Sam Duran and Ron Tyler.
Good evening. Samuel Durrington with FamilyCore, Director of Outreach, and with Ron Tyler, our Chief Program Officer. Standing here to share, FamilyCore has family school liaisons in 20 of the Peoria public schools. And we've been able to reach 4,880 students this past school year. Then in those student contacts, indirect contacts to parents and guardians and families. Also, you see in the slide, we serve with Tier 2 students, Tier 3 students, and that's our more intensive care that we do with those students that might need additional support to be successful in the school. And so out of the 4,880, those 142, those 81 students are seen throughout the year, even over the intermissions and summer breaks. We work with those students to try to make sure of retention and that they return back to school and ready to continue their success. They work with students not only with that, but also resources, transportation, attendance interventions. As you can see in the next slide, some of the top presenting issues that we were dealing with was attendance, positive reinforcement, disrupting class, and community resources needs. I wanted to address how definitely attendance is definitely number one, and many of our FSLs will go out to do home visits, knock on doors. They will participate in Because We Care walks, and they will continue to do the work they can to help improved the attendance rates. And some of our schools that our FSOs have been recognized because of their increase of attendance. And so we thank them for their continuous work and their teamwork with their school and administration to improve those attendance. Positive reinforcement is another aspect of how improving attendance and having that one trusted adult at the school that they can confide in and believe in. And so that's why they have that as a marker showing how they can improve their overall SEL competency by building healthy relationship with an adult and being successful in school. Disrupting class, of course, how we have to help out with the crisis, but help retain those kids, help them stay in class, and help them to self-regulate and get back into school. And so that's why you see that reflected in the 4 services provided, again, attendance intervention, positive reinforcement, transportation, and then the group and social skills is also highlighted because of those intensive kids that are seen in Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3, that they may work with them in a group, a lunch buddy, or they might have a different class they might do sessions with those students and with those children. And so with that in mind, our goals for this upcoming school year is to continue to provide support for students and families, school and staff, and community to have a successful school year, which involves home visits, which involve being available during the intermissions, the fall, the summer, and the spring, for they work all year round trying to help these kids get back in school. Some of them need help getting transportation to their visitations or getting their eyes done. They work with the Peoria Foundation so they can get those glasses that get seen. So we working with other community resource needs to make sure our students have full access to all those things. And so that's our goal, to continue to increase attendance, continue to see them have social promotion, continue to see them to grow and be positive role models within the school and get back to our community. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Do we have any questions from anyone? Then we'll hear from Elite, Mr. Carl.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm going to start a little different. I have a video that kind of culminates the year for Elite, and then I do have the 3 slides. Dr. Crott told me I don't get any more time, so this is going to go pretty quickly. It's a pretty quick video.
Okay. I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. The sun is shining down on me, birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day, in every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. Baby in my arms, walking through the neighborhood, living in the present, not woulda, shoulda, or coulda. I remember back when I was low as a rug. Now I'm standing up, look at what my father does, turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back, that's why I'm singing that. I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. The sun is shining down on me, birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day, in every single way. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day, no, it's great. Everything I prayed for didn't come in late. I got all I need and I didn't have to wait. Ask me if you love me, you didn't hesitate. Turning all things new, gray skies blue. Hear the church saying, won't he do it? I know he's got my back, that's why I'm singing that. I'm about to have a good day, no matter what they say. Sun is shining down on me, birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day, in every single way. God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day. It's a good day.
A little bit different flavor. This first slide is an overview of the core programs we offer for Peoria Public School students. You can see that since 2011, over 16,000 students have participated in our offerings, including the winning program, which is summer school, also the high school junior elite program, and of course the safe school. The second slide depicts the accomplishments from a year ago. The K-8 program would be on top. The winning program, you could see the attendance all the way through. There is one correction when you look at the safe school. It says a 99% increase in attendance. That's incorrect. It should read 94%. Our goals for this upcoming year is in the final slide. We want to grow what we've been doing for you. We'd like to one day have a counselor, a social worker to work with the population of students. We're going to grow our partners so we can have more offerings for our students, and not just the students, the parents of the students that we work with. We want to offer them an opportunity to grow as well. So we look at it more as the family plan. Thank you.
We greatly appreciate all of your services with your staff and the interventions that you give our students to put them on the right path and to give them a second chance. And we understand that it's not easy work, but you are, committed and you serve from compassion, and we are forever grateful for your time and your investment in our students. So thank you so much. So we have the budget presentation. Mr. Willis is not in. Cammie? Oh, he is. Mr. Willis.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us, and we understand you aren't feeling well, so we appreciate you taking time.
No problem. No problem. The first slide, the presentation just gives you an overview of the finance team, and we don't need to spend any time on that. The next slide gives you an overview of the budget adoption process, and then that process really starts officially tonight, where we give you an overview of the budget. We also, beginning tomorrow, will have the budget available online. Also, we'll have the budget available on public display at the receptionist desk beginning tomorrow. State law requires that we have the budget available for public review for at least 30 days. So we are scheduled for budget adoption and hearings both on the September 23rd. In terms of revenue, when you add up all funds together, revenue totals $286.5 million. The total expenditures in the 2024-25 budget draft currently is $276.4 million. Moving to the next page, some highlights comparing this year's budget to last year's. Evidence-based funding. Last year, we were Tier 2. The budget increase in our evidence-based funding this time last year was $1 million. We're back to Tier 1 in the funding formula, primarily because corporate personal property replacement taxes went down. Long story short, that gives us, Tier 1 gives us a $4.5 million increase in evidence-based funding for the 24-25 school year. And so we're very happy to see that. One piece of information that's we're usually able to include it in the budget, but this year's the yet is the corporate personal property replacement tax estimate. The State Department of Revenue taxing entities of that number that has not come out yet. For this preliminary budget draft, we assumed the same estimate as last year, which was about 28 million. But when we do present the budget number, we'll have that current information, and that'll be reflected in the updated draft that we present to you for approval in September. Property values, our county assessor is estimating a 5% increase in property values. That's been reflected. County facility sales tax has been trending at about 5 million the last couple of years, and so that's budgeted at about 5 million. And total long-term debt continues to come down. This time last year, that number was 127 million. It's 114 million as of June 34. This time next year, that number will be 103 million. So long-term debt continues to come down about 10 to 12 million dollars a year. In terms of the numbers, our operating budget, if you look at the far right column, almost at the bottom of the page, when you add it all up, we're anticipating right now a deficit of about 1.2 million. In total, we're estimating that we'll receive about 249 million in receipts. We estimate that we'll receive about, or spend about 250.3 million. The operating budget, as you recall, is our education fund, operations and maintenance fund, transportation fund, and then IMRF and Social Security. And basically, those are the four funds that day-to-day operations cover. In terms of the non-operating budget, debt service, capital projects, and all of those, you can numbers there. The one piece that I would bring to your attention is the capital projects fund, where we anticipate bringing in about 9 million. We anticipate an expenditure of about 14.1, and so it looks like we'll spend about 5 million more, 5.1 million more than we'll receive. That's intentional. We had some balances in our capital project fund that we continue to bring down with various capital projects. In total, you can see here 286.5 million in receipts. We anticipate across all our funds, we anticipate spending about 276.4 million. Total budget, all 9 funds put together. The next couple of slides just give you a graphic presentation of revenue on this particular page for our operating funds. And here you can see that evidence-based funding is a large contributor in our operating funds. You can also see that our local taxes are a huge contributor sources of revenue. On the spending side, which is our next pie graph, 62% of our spend is salaries, 15% of our operating funds spend is benefits, and you can see the other portion of our operating budget, 12% being other objects, et cetera, et cetera. If you move to the next slide, next steps, as I mentioned before, we'll have the budget, a draft preliminary budget of 24-25 available on the website. We'll also have that available for public review in the event anybody wants to come in and personally walk through a page have a public hearing on September 23rd. We'll also put a resolution together for adoption, official adoption of the budget at that September 23rd board meeting. That's a real quick overview, high-level overview. And I'll also send a copy of the budget document to everyone, probably in my Friday report this coming Friday. I'd be happy to entertain any questions. Anybody was just a very high-level overview of the 2024-25 budget.
Board members, do we have any questions? Okay, Mr. Willis, thank you for sacrificing, and we hope you are feeling better soon. Thanks for joining us.
No problem.
Okay, our next item is presentation by the audience. Each member of the audience is welcome to speak 5 minutes, and you may not extend past that without a consensus from the board. Each topic is only for 20 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation, and we appreciate you being here, and we value your feedback. First person on deck is Mr. Charlie Thomas.
Okay, here we go again. Wasn't going to come here tonight, but my beautiful wife had to come here for a union thing, so I came and yeah, I married up. There's no doubt about that. Let's get to business. Back when Woodruff, by the way, still love it, even though it's closed, we had a safe school at Woodruff, and it was an incredible safe school. Very quickly, for the board members, there are some here that already know about this, but we had at Woodruff, we had all certified teachers teaching at Woodruff. These were kids that were expelled or there for other reasons, but expelled kids, and I had some of the other, I forget what the type, contemporary kids. But anyway, my point is, they went through the whole day like a normal school day, which I think is the most important part of these kids that are expelled or on the verge of being expelled. We went through everything. They had PE, which is what I taught. They obviously had math, all the subjects. They went from class to class. And I'll say it again, we had all certified teachers. Now, I don't even know when Game Changers came into play. It was kind of funny. It's like I woke up one morning and it was in play. And if you know me at all, you know I'm well aware of what goes on in this district, have been for many years. And it came apart. I didn't know Mr. Cannon at all, never met him. But then all of a sudden, now this is of course after the safe school was closed. I think at that time, Dr. Karat thought we needed the teachers, or there was a teacher shortage. I'm not sure of all the reasons, but it was a sad day for Woodruff to close. So I thought that was a great thing, because I do believe we need a safe school somewhere for these kids. I mean, we can't just give up on them. I mean, we gotta come up with something. And I've been on this soapbox for a long time. It has nothing to do with how great a man Mr. Cannon is and his staff. In fact, I've heard nothing but good things from the elite at Glen Oak this year. And I know it's only at 2 schools, and I'm a little confused with that, because why, if it's a good thing at Glen Oak right now, well, it could be helping other people. But I'm old school. I think the principal should be handling a lot of what elite has to handle. But anyway, the safe school has to be done properly. I did visit the safe school. I think it's been a couple years now. Unfortunately, they spend most of their day on computers, doing something on computers. And then when I showed up that day, the teacher that was the certified one teacher was sitting there reading his paper. Pretty disappointing. Dr. Karat was with me. Dr. Booth, Derek Booth was with me when I visited. And I don't know the teacher that's going to be there this year. I have no idea. But the numbers I'm reading, up to 50 kids, could be there at any one time. I didn't see room for 50 kids when I was there. Now, it could have changed. It's been a couple years. But anyway, I am in favor of a safe school. I just wish it was done in our district, in one of our buildings, with our certified staff. That's all I care about. Has nothing to do with whether they're doing a good or bad job. I'm sure they're doing a great job, but it should be on our land, I think it's at Dream Center. It should be, Woodruff's got all kinds of room. Real quick on this succession committee. I was at the last board meeting and I heard someone say there was going to be a committee put together. And there might have been. I offered to be on that committee. Of course, no one wants me on committees. I get it. I know, isn't that sad? I offered to be on that committee. No, they don't want me on that because they know what I'd say. What is wrong with what we have in place right now? What are you trying to get rid of Dr. Karada? I hope not. My goodness, she's the best thing that's happened to this district in a long time. Why would you want to try to get rid of her? Or do you want to put your own person in there? Is that what it's about? Do you want to select one and just say, hey, let's go. We got this succession committee that's never existed, as far as I know, in this district. So I'm kind of confused by that, and I hope the board investigates that. And by the way, my time's about to run out. It'd be nice if we knew who votes for game changers in the lead, if you can make them vote, pull that one and make them vote individually. And once again, we should not allow that succession thing to go through again until we get a committee. Now, if there was a committee, someone tell me, and I'll shut my big mouth. But I don't think there was a committee. At least I wasn't aware of one if there was. And that's a shame. And unfortunately, we've had a lot of bad programs in this district. Edison was one of them. Where's Edison now? It's supposed to be our savior. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we'll have Alicia Granderson.
Good evening to Dr. Karat, the board, and everyone in attendance or watching online. My name is Alicia Granderson, and I am with Peoria Parents Project. I have a bunch of parents here with me tonight. We are a grassroots parent organization that fights for education justice for Peoria Public School students. Tonight, we are here standing in solidarity with the teachers union for the succession committee. We want to ensure that whatever decision is made, that it is done with everyone in mind. We are watching the board very closely to see how the succession committee plays out. We are also advocating for an inclusive and transparent hiring process that includes stakeholders. We want to ensure that unions and parents are on the committee with an elected school board. Too often, parents and teachers are left out of important decisions when your decisions affect all of us. When it comes to our children's education, decisions like this cannot be rushed or eliminate important people. You have already made some major changes this year that have affected me and my family and also other families drastically. We, the parents, ask that you slow this down, think it through, and invite those who this is going to affect to the table for a discussion. Show us that our opinions matter by tabling this until there's a more appropriate time, and now is just not that time. We do thank you for your consideration, and we look forward to building with you in the near future. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here. Our next audience speaker is Ms. Toni Strong.
Good evening, board members, Dr. Crott, and members of the cabinet. I, Toni Strong, proud 34-year veteran of Peoria Public Schools and vice president of the Teachers Union District 780. I am here tonight with my executive board, building reps, fellow PFT members, and also members of the parent. Yes, we have mobilized to ask that the succession plan action item number 11 be pulled for a separate vote and that it be voted down. It is up to the superintendent and schools to have a succession plan, and Dr. Karrat has one. When choosing a new superintendent, union members should be involved. Parents and community stakeholders should be involved as well. The process should be transparent. Setting up a board committee to backdoor a new hire 2 years early
or to create an agenda item for the sole purpose of threatening the current superintendent is foolhardy. Since we reset with Dr. Crott last January, we have collaborated to close Quest, which has given millions of dollars to the district and students. We held a legal workshop for our J1 visa teachers. The Grow Your Own is now a full day. We are piloting a teacher leader program at Tree Win. Our insurance committee has avoided an insurance increase. We are continuing to work with the district on class size, and we welcomed almost 100 new teachers this year during new teacher orientation. Currently, we are working with the superintendent and board on the Hanover data, implementing processes that will increase respect for our members and that will help streamline our workload. We do feel the PFT, the board, and the admin are to check and balance each other. There are issues. We will not agree. Sometimes we will be vocal. Collaboration is essential and is our first step always. Dr. Crott always tells us, if you have a problem, bring a solution. If we don't have a problem, we sometimes bring the problem and we try to collaborate on a solution. It is our hope that the board will collaborate with the PFT when the time comes to hire a new superintendent, and the process will be transparent. We are watching this meeting in person and at home to see how each board member votes. We hope your vote for collaboration, which is a vote no for action item number 11, which proposes the establishment of a board-level succession committee. The PFT has 98% membership. We are unified. We are strong. We are watching in hopes of a vote no. We are looking forward to continued collaboration in the future. Thank you.
Okay, and our last audience speaker is Miss Mary Beth Cunningham.
Hello. I promise I won't go over this time because I didn't write my speech, which is what happened last time. I have reached out to all except for the 2 brand new board members because I didn't originally have your email addresses, so this will be new to you guys and not to others. Wrote a second email last week adding to kind of what my fellow parents have said, as well as the teachers union. I'm a rules person. Even if I don't like the rules, I follow the rules. And so what I've emailed about is scope of governance and what things should and should not, or actually are and are not supposed to look like on a Board of Education. And so when it was kind of murky last week, and I look forward to what the explanation will be this week on action item number 11, because we need a lot more detail in order to actually ethically put that through, is the scope of governance. So one of the things that was said, it was like, oh, it's not just about the superintendent. Well, the role of the board is governance. In the governance sense is superintendent hiring, making sure you're collaborating with the superintendent, supporting the superintendent, and also working with the collaboration of a union. The only governance that a board has is on an administrator is a superintendent. So we can't be talking about other people. So my red flags went up as a rule follower and honestly like a school board nerd. Like if you haven't figured out, I'm a nerd about school boards. So I know a couple things because of that. So I wrote about that. You have it all in detail. Lack of stakeholder involvement. Other people have already spoke on that. I will sit on any committee that anybody puts me on. Sometimes I'm good at it, and other times they put me in finance, which is really not smart, but I'll sit on it until I take myself out because I care about the district. Board dynamics and representation. This is a really precarious position to put 3 brand new school board members into, specifically when all 3 are from the same voting zone. So I happen to be a voter in that school zone, and I didn't feel like it was, and that's not on their part, It was a good thing to make such a major new board level, because that's how it's phrased, committee, when all of where I live, all three of my representatives are brand new. Like, my voice is not going to be heard because I can't reach out to my three. Now, I've my three elected in my zone. I reach out to everybody else anyway, much to your dismay, I'm sure. Urgency of the committee formation. We don't need to do this right now. There's no rush. Let's work through this, get the details of what you're wanting, see if it's actually like ethically guarded in the IASB. Let people get trained, let people go through things, and maybe we'll all collaboratively come up with something that is amazing. Because I know, unfortunately, Dr. Crott won't stay around forever because she will have a life after this. But we do need something. Nobody disagrees that we need something to look forward to and a way to collaborate. But the way it's written just seems a little bit exclusive to board. And my kids are in this district, and they're going to be for a long time still. And other people's kids are in this district, and there are teachers in this district. And I would love for my grandkids to be in this district, to make a fifth generation of my family in this district. I will always be the number one cheerleader of this district. Maybe not number one parent cheerleader maybe. I will do so while also being honest, because that's important too. So I appreciate your time, and I did not go over today.
Thank you. Any responses to the audience presentation, board members? Dr. Karat? Any responses? Thank you. May we have a motion to approve minutes from the June 24th and July 1st and 22nd meetings, please?
Second.
Madam Secretary for the roll.
Mrs. Murray?
Aye.
Mr. Ivory?
Yes.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
President McConnell?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Information items. Superintendent's update, school opening highlights.
Just quickly, we had an amazing update. I've heard from our staff and even the community. They've seen the videos, and this overall staff have said this is the best update that we've had in the best opening that we've had in quite some time. And this is my 10th. This was my 10th update. So, did you guys like the theme song? How was the theme song? Did you like it? PPS theme song? Awesome. Let's see, what else? Staffing is looking very, very good. You heard from a strong VP of the Teachers Union. They welcomed 105 new teachers. I remember 2015 when we first started, we had 108 openings. We're down to 14 openings. So in terms of teachers, we're in a really, really good place. And a lot of you know, board members, after COVID, we struggled with even getting bus drivers and monitors. We redid the contract with some incentives. And Josh, we spoke, when was it, at Cabinet last week, right, Director Boone? And Josh said we're sitting looking pretty. His office staff, they're also certified. He's like, we don't even have to drive. If folks call off, we don't, normally they have to shut the office down and start driving. And so we're looking very good there as well. Just wanted to thank everyone. I mean, we're a strong district. We are, all the individuals you see out here, they're passionate about PPS, they're passionate about the vision, the mission. They love the kids. That's why they're with us. You heard, some of them 20 years, 30 years, 10 years. They're committed to Peoria Public Schools, and our job is to support, hold all of us accountable, but support, and that's what we're doing this year. And so I wanted to thank all of you for coming out, and let's continue to work towards that goal of increasing student achievement. A lot of you gave us really great feedback regarding the cell phone ban. And there were I think I received 5 to 10 emails from teachers just saying it's really a good thing. We weren't really sure about the challenges that we would get from our students, but overall, I wanted to really thank the kids as well. They were very, very receptive and compliant for the most part. Of course, you're always going to have, I call them our munchkins, and we do have This was well thought out, and actually PFT worked with us as well in terms of the interventions and the consequences. Thank you, Dr. Coleman, the consequences. So that was very well thought out, and so I would tell the kids, continue to follow that. As a team, we agreed we were going to be consistent, we were going to be fair, we were going to be firm, but they have to follow those, they have to follow the policy, and they have to follow the procedure. Otherwise, we'll follow the procedures, and if it gets to a point where it's just infraction against, after infraction, they will be banned from even bringing a phone to school. So you've heard from Dr. Gregory Wilson in terms of a feedback that he read from one of the teachers, a testimonial about changing the teaching landscape. And for us, it's all about more engagement, right? And helping with the wellness. So I'm really proud of that. But again, President McConnell, we're really off to a great start. And we will continue, as Tony said, we're working on doing some language work. We're working on some, trying to figure out how to work. We always talk about working smarter, not harder. And, you know, the ULTs have charged, actually, our executive directors are meeting with principals tomorrow. And one of the things we'll talk to principals about is principals work with your ULT, your teacher leadership group, and just brainstorm. They may have ideas of how to work smarter, not harder. Are there things that we're doing that we really shouldn't be doing because we're really not getting any benefits out of it? So I'm really looking forward to seeing the themes and seeing if there's anything that we could, looking for more efficiencies and effectiveness. So again, just a great start, and we're one huge family, and just letting everybody know, if you need anything, let your principal know, let your assistant principal know, your support groups, your executive director, and of course, I'm always here as well. So I'm just proud of the team. We're very responsive, we listen, and we're always trying to think outside the box to problem solve. We're problem solving every day for our kids, because it's all about our kids. So I probably went longer than I was like Mary Beth. If I don't write it down, and I'll keep going on and on and on. So thank you, Madam President.
I want to thank you for showing up at the buildings. I followed you on social media, and I thought
that was not my idea.
Well, no, it was fun.
I was coerced.
It was fun. It's good for other parents and for those of us who have other jobs who can't do that. It's good to see that, and so
thank you.
Thank you. I imagine that was a busy day, and the first day of school was a stormy morning.
Yes.
So
it got better though.
Thank you all for just being there. Any proposed expenditures over 2,500, and the third item, report of Freedom of Information Act, status of such requests.
Thank you very much, President McConnell. Since our board meeting on July 22nd, we received one new request, and there was one request pending, noted on July 22nd. Of that, one request remains. So there are two requests currently opened, and our total cost since January is to provide these requests. The total cost is $1,500. Thank you.
Thank you. And the action items, Dr. Wilson, consent agenda.
Yes, thank you, President McConnell. The consent agenda consists of the following items. Item number 1, gifts to school district, year-to-date $121,970.52. Item number 2, payment of bills. Item number 3, payment for travel. Item number 4, human resource report. Item number 5, intergovernmental agreement with the Peoria County Regional Office of Education, the Safe School Program. Item number 6, Richwoods Boys Soccer Overnight Trip. Item number 7, Memorandum of Understanding with the Peoria Federation of Teachers, Local 780, regarding release time of a bargaining unit member, 0.5 classroom teacher / 0.5 teacher leader. Item number 8, contract with Illinois Central School Bus. Item number 9, manual volleyball team overnight trip. Item number 10, Center for Prevention of Abuse, Aaron's Law Mandate Program Plan and Budget, 2024 and 2025. Item number 11, board level committee establishment. Item number 12, contract for children's home therapists to provide therapeutic services. Item number 13, approval of elite contract for behavior/school culture services. Item number 14, approval of elite contract to provide the Game Changer Behavior Program. Item number 15, FamilyCore contract approval, counseling services. Item number 16, intergovernmental agreement with the Peoria County Regional Office of Education, Regional Work Experience Career Exploration Program. And that is the entirety of the consent agenda.
Okay, board, what is your pleasure?
Madam President,
Yes,
I would like to pull item 11 for a separate vote.
a separate vote?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I would like to.
And then, is there any other item?
Yeah, I would like to pull. Number 8.
Number 8, okay. All right, thank you. We will have a separate vote on number 8 and on number 11. Madam Secretary, if you'll call the roll for,
I think you need a motion and a second for all the others, right?
that's what I'm doing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you was going to ask her to call the roll. Okay.
No, I was going to entertain a motion for the other items.
So
All right,
moved.
thank you. May I get a motion for the other items that have not been pulled?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Secretary, may you call the roll?
Mrs. Murray?
Aye.
Mr. Ivory?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
President McConnell?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 8, there is a modification to that one, and so we want to approve it with the amendment. Instead of the district paying for the monitor, Illinois Central College is going to cover that cost. So the Illinois Central School Bus Company is going to cover the cost of the monitor. Do we have any other questions on item number 8? Would like to entertain a motion to approve item number 8 as amended. Thank you.
Second.
Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Mrs. Murray?
Aye.
Mr. Ivory?
Aye.
Mrs. Rose?
Aye.
Mrs. Ross?
Aye.
Dr. Wilson?
Aye.
President McConnell?
Aye.
We have 6 ayes, motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 11, discussion.
Thank you. I have a brief presentation for item number 11. First and foremost, I'm kind of appalled at how this has come to full circle. But I have a brief presentation I'm going to give you, plus I have a list of FAQs that would be available to you. This is the succession plan for Peoria Public Schools. Okay, next time. Succession planning, what is it? Simply stated, succession planning ensures school staff are recruited and developed to fill key roles. Next slide. Succession planning, what is it? Succession planning looks at current strengths, future needs, gaps, which are then addressed through training and development. Succession planning is important for 3 reasons: to ensure effective staffing throughout the school. Number 1, this plan helps schools cope with anticipated and unexpected changes in key personnel and reduces the impact and stress of these changes. Number 2, candidates will be more attracted to schools that highlight career development opportunities, training, and upward mobility. And number 3, assisting with retention. Employees who feel they are being invested in are likely to be more engaged. They will also feel a stronger sense of loyalty, commitment, and satisfaction. Next slide, please.
Today we're going to talk about succession planning, and it's a very important process for any organization. It's really a process that enables business to continue to operate should someone in a key position leave the organization or move into another role. So succession planning really takes an organization through the process of identifying high potential talent, but then nurturing and grooming that talent to be able to assume greater responsibilities and larger roles in the future. So when you think about succession planning, you want to make sure that you're aligning your succession planning with your business strategy, because what skills, what competencies are you going to need in the future, and how are you grooming those individuals, those high potential individuals that you've identified, to have those competencies so that they're ready when the time comes. So for any organization, succession planning is a critical process that needs to be utilized to really make sure that they have the right talent available to continue to operate into the future. Today we're going to talk.
So in conclusion, succession planning must be an important part of Peoria Public Schools to ensure we are able to meet our mission and run smoothly without staffing interruptions. For more information, as I said, I have some frequently asked questions package that anyone can get. For years now, as long as I've been on this board, I've looked out for staff, students, parents, and the many times I say, did we post these positions? And if so, would our rank and file be able to apply for some of these positions? And this is not, and I want to express, this is not about a superintendent, because the board, this is a business that we run, and the board is in charge of giving directions to what we need to do in this district. And I just feel that it's important that we value the people that already work for us and are able to move up in certain positions. And I'm sorry that people felt differently than that, but we should be responsible for cross training so that everybody, can move to where they need to move and be able to, operate, with fidelity. Unfortunately, people forget that we have set up all kinds of board level committees. I mean, years ago, I brought in the Parent University. We set up a board level committee. The Black History Curriculum, a board level committee. A committee is just to look at what we need to do if we need to do something. And so a committee puts together recommendations and bring back to the regular board. The committee will not decide what to do. We just put together the process and bring it back to a regular board. And again, I'm disappointed that people took it the wrong way or it was given the wrong information, because we do not have a process in place, as you can see, that really values and cross-train people so that if you're out, then somebody else knows what the work is supposed to be, what you're supposed to do with the work. So that's my presentation in.
Yeah, this is my thought with this. I do believe that the district should have a succession plan. I don't think a committee is necessarily needed just to make that plan. And I have paused with that because now you take committee members who are going to work on something when it should be the board in its totality, administration, and some community partners. And so as I shared that with you in our private conversation, I'm not opposed to the planning of it. I just don't think it needs to become an exclusive committee of a small number of people working on it, that it needs to be inclusive of the board as a whole, administration, and some community partners.
President McConnell, I would just like to remind everyone that we have a policy, a board policy 3:70, that states that we have a succession of authority should something happen to superintendent, principal, or other administrator. There is a succession of authority, and it states in black and white that it should be developed by the superintendent and approved by us. And so we can ask Dr. Karat to bring updated version of the succession of authority for us to reapprove, but I don't think it's in our lane to plan the succession of anybody other than Dr. Karat.
Well, it's not so much, it's just isolated, because I don't think that the superintendent needs to do it by herself. It's the collaboration, as someone has stated, it's about all of us working together, and we need that. I am for a plan. I just don't think it's necessary for us to have a limited committee to have to do the work. It's going to take all of us. We have some volunteers from the audience. I have noted everybody who said they would like to be a part of that. So the only thing that I would ask for is, Mr. Thomas, you did not give us your address and your phone number, so if you could complete the card, please, thank you.
After you vote no on this.
And, well, I mean, it's your choice, because if I can't reach you, then
Oh, no, I will.
then you won't be able to be a part of the process. And you know, I would encourage anybody, if you're going to come speak to us, we like to be responsive. We like to hear from you, but if there's any follow-up needed, I need to be able to, and the board needs to be able to reach you via email and your phone number, so that we can have healthy conversations, we can get the feedback, so that it is us working as a unit and not just us here making, you know, choices. So if you will, anybody else in the future, when you come to the board meetings, we would like to have your email and your phone number and your address. And there is a purpose for that legally, that we need to be able to really verify if you're really in the district too. So thank you. Board, is there anybody else that has any discussion on item number 11?
I did want to chime in. I've heard from a variety of members of our community by email and phone call, and I feel like the consensus is they want to be a part of this. So I am grateful that you have a plan in place that involves the community. So thank you for that.
Hey, anybody else?
Well, you know, being one of the newer board members, it's it's very interesting in terms of where we're at in terms of succession plan. Being a businessman as I am and representing businesses all across the country, succession plan is just a necessary part of good business. It's not bad business, it's good business. Now, I don't know what personal agenda people have, and I really don't care, quite honestly. I care about representing the school district and the students and the teachers and having the best school district we can have. So beyond the rhetoric and beyond voices, which I listen to and will not listen to at times, that's me. And I'll stand up to whatever I say, because that's who I am as a leader. I believe succession plan is necessary. I don't know if we have the process in place, and I have no problem at all in having Dr. Karat, because I have a great deal of respect for Dr. Karat and her leadership in terms of putting together some succession plan that the board takes a look at and approves that. But we do need a succession plan that's clear, that's concise, that speaks to the issues that we're talking about. Those who don't understand that, then I think they don't understand business and how business ought to operate, quite frankly. So I will be not taking this off the agenda, but keeping it on the agenda with maybe a caveat in terms of what the process will look like at this point in time. Madam Chair.
And if I could dovetail, an organizational chart is not a succession plan. Okay, so we need to really understand that just because you have an organizational chart, that's not a succession plan. We're not talking about that at all.
Right. The item, just for clarity, just so that everybody understands, we are voting tonight on a committee to do that. We are not voting on having a succession plan. And those are two separate things. And right now, we are entertaining a motion to approve or either not approve a board level committee. Just that, just the board level committee.
Can I make a motion to not approve a board level committee for succession planning?
We're gonna vote on it.
I mean, we have to vote on it.
Right, but you said we're entertaining
A motion to approve.
Motion is already there. You either have to vote it up or down.
So the motion is either, yeah, you know, you can either vote by saying yay or either nay, no or either aye.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarification.
And then our superintendent would like to say something.
Yep, just some further, add some further information to this conversation. There are two types of succession formats, and one, based on what I heard from Ms. Ross, if something happens to Karat, I walk out of here and I fall out and I'm gone, right? We have our org chart, right? It's Ike, it's Bond, and it's the same thing for principals as well. Okay, that is, I don't know what else we need. Okay, what succession planning are we looking for? Okay, we have it, it's already in place. That's one thing. It's either a chain of command, which we have, it's updated, anybody can go on the website. I sent it to the board again tonight. Okay? This is, if something happens to me, right? There's like, okay, this is the next person, the next person, the next person, the next person, right? So we have that. That's one option. Then the other succession plan is truly fill in a superintendent's vacancy. Okay? So we already have the chain of command. If something happens to any one of us, including principals, there's already a replacement. So there's no need for succession planning for staffing for PPS, which is my role. The role that the board has is to select a superintendent for filling a vacancy. Okay? Technically, we still have 2 years, but it's okay if they want to start now. It's fine. So I think really, I mean, we got to be, let's put everything out on the table, because the other parts do not make any sense to me whatsoever. There's a committee that's created and it says, go do that. I wouldn't know what to do. Honestly, it's like you're asking me to identify folks to take positions. We already have it. So I'm totally confused, like truly confused. So I'm sorry, President, but I just wanted to like share that with everyone because it's like really kind of amusing to me.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Before we vote, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Okay. Last board meeting, Dr. Wilson gave me more time to do more research, and I went out and I did more research, and I cannot find a district. And I've called New York, I've called Boston, I've called all the places that people are saying this is done, and people are looking at me like I'm crazy on the phone because they're like, no, ma'am, we don't do that. That sounds highly illegal. Like, I've heard all the things, and I'm pretty sure people think I'm nuts now. But I have been like, I want to find out if you use succession planning for the hiring of a superintendent. That is what I ask when I speak to people on the phone.
Well, why are you asking that question? Because this isn't about the superintendent.
But then it's not in our lane. That's why.
No, it is in our lane because we direct the superintendent. The board directs the superintendent in putting any plans together.
To hire folks that are not qualified, because that's what you said. If people want a job, they can apply for positions. Anyone who wants a job can apply. Anyone. That's what happens here at PPS.
I know about PPS, Dr. Karat, because you know how long I've been here. So let's not talk
guys.
about that.
I think
let's not go there, please.
Why don't we just move on? There is an item on the floor. Madam Secretary, if you'll call the roll, and we are approving or either not. So I am for the committee and no is not. Madam Secretary, would you call the roll, please?
Mrs. Murray?
No.
Mr. Ivory?
Yes. Oh.
Mrs. Rose?
No.
Mrs. Ross?
Yes.
Dr. Wilson?
No.
President McConnell?
No.
We have 4 nays. The motion is carried.
Thank you so much. Deliberation, a agenda. Do we have anything from the board? Presentation or suggestions by the board members?
Just real quick, just wanted to give kudos to the administration and teachers, actually, while y'all here, for a successful start of the school year. I've heard nothing but great things so far, so I look forward to, continuing that. Like you said, we'll have the best year ever. Let's just keep that going.
Yes, feel the energy.
I'd like to mirror Dr. Wilson's sentiments. I was in the schools on the first day. I tried to make it to as many as I could, but most of the kids were in classrooms by the time I got there, so I didn't want to bother anyone. But you guys did a really, really good job with the first day of school, and I look forward to showing up to more schools and watching you guys work your magic.
Thank you. And then teachers, I would love to see, if you are certainly welcome to come to every board member, every board meeting. We are an open board. We like to hear from people, teachers, community members, and I did receive several emails, pros or either cons. I got a lot of feedback from parents who were not that upset about Yonder pouches. And so that's a major win for our district. And I pray that it helps and empowers every teacher to put a lot more energy on teaching and lesson and not put your phone away. And I sincerely appreciate you guys taking time out to be here tonight, because I understand some of you guys have to be back in the classroom by 7 a.m. And so we thank you for your service, and we thank you for your dedication. Any reports from the board committees?
I do, President McConnell.
Sure.
So the policy committee will meet on I don't know why I just did that.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday? Okay. On Wednesday at 5:00 p.m.
Okay. And any other? Okay. With that, all hearts and minds are clear. As we say in church, motion to adjourn.